Good morning. If anybody's on the West Coast, you guys can hear me? All right. Okay. So I call Bhante Swaminansa, but Bhante is how he generally goes around being addressed if you do need to at any point. I did have a discussion with him last evening and this morning. So one of the things I've requested of Bhante is to reflect his thoughts from a Buddhist viewpoint in terms of AI and consciousness. I came across him using ChatGPT, and that motivated me to ask him the questions. So he will blend that in, I hope, during the discussion. But he will be talking about different types of meditation and also lead us through a meditation session. But I will let him talk to that. So, Swaminansa, over to you.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good afternoon for everyone. I'm very happy to have this opportunity that you have given me to lead a meditation session. And this meditation will be helpful to develop loving kindness, and we may be able to use it as a healing technique. So I have heard that you are interested of coming to know about Buddhist viewpoint of this chat GPT, AI, artificial intelligence. We have heard the great compassionate Buddha has gone to one of the six heavens called Tusita heaven and met those divine community and started teaching Abhidhamma. Abhidhamma is based on mind, mental factors, formation, and Nibbana. Chitta, Chaitasika, Rupa, Nibbana. It is said when the Buddha wanted to have his meal, he has to come to the human world. Then Buddha make a strong determination and perform a mind-made Buddha and determine to let that image to talk about this teaching, continue that teaching, and he comes to human world and go for alms and have his lunch, and after a short rest he goes back to the heaven. This is how that we have heard of it. Seems to be it is not real, but whenever we pay our attention for the development of communication in the human world, we can believe that. Now, the human being, people wants to make a real consciousness through their investigations, and that can be done. The mind is the forerunner. Mind made of them. Mind is chief. Whenever a person has an intention of creating something, physically, mentally, spiritually, or emotionally, it can be created. If we can't create, that means the way of thinking and performance are limited. According to the creative ability of mind is not limited. It is universal, unbounded. Therefore, the person who is desire of development or creating a artificial consciousness, it can be done. This is what that I can share when I consider of the nature of the mind. The true nature of the mind is whatever we do, we can't satisfy. We need much more. And there, when we find failure, when we find that cannot be done, we get disappointed and suffer. In a lifetime of human being, can only be done a part of what he desired to do. A lot of time we have to maintain our mind and body. We need to earn for our food and earning for our clothes, earning for shelter, earning for maintaining house and other things. And also we need a good rest, sleeping. Then what happens? Time goes fast, and we may not be able to complete what should be completed. There, we may not be able to satisfy with whatever we do in this lifetime. Sometimes after the commitment, we may see it is old and new patterns come to be. At that time, we are not happy with what we did as it became old. So it is another factor for unsatisfactoriness. Therefore, it is better to be aware of cultivating the mind and find freedom from suffering. I would like to introduce a meditation technique which is very helpful to relax ourselves, establish peace and harmony, and healing ourselves. So after this technique, we would be able to have a discussion or questioning or some other interest things relating with the technique that I'm going to lead now. So I would like to suggest you to close your eyes and comfort your sitting or standing position. Comfort yourself and focus your mind to your heart. You focus your mind to your heart and you feel your heart. You feel your heart. You feel your heart. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You find loving kindness within you. You are a loving person. You are a loving person. You are a loving person and you are a kind person. You are a loving person and you are a kind person. You are a kind person. You are a loving person for you and you are a loving person for the world. You are a kind person for you and you are a kind person for the world. You are a friendly one. You are a helpful one. You are a friendly one for you and you are a helpful one for you. You are a friendly one for you and you are a friendly one for the world. You are a helpful one for you and you are a helpful one for the world. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You are a loving person. You are a loving person. You are a loving person and you are a kind person. You are a kind person. You are a loving person and you are a kind person. You are a loving one for you. You are a loving one for the world. You are a kind person for you. You are a kind person for the world. You are a kind person for the world. You are a kind person for you. You are a loving person for you. You are a loving person for the world. You are a friendly one and you are a helpful one. You are a friendly one and you are a helpful one. You find loving kindness. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You are a loving one for you and you are a loving person for the world. You are a kind person for you and you are a kind person for the world. You feel your heart. and you find loving kindness. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful and you are happy. You are peaceful and you are happy. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. You are free from anger. You have loving kindness. You are free from hatred. You have compassion. You are free from jealousy. You have appreciative joy. You are free from fear. You are confident. You are free from restlessness. Your mind is well concentrated. You are free from doubt. You are confident. You are free from anger. You are free from hatred. You are free from jealousy. You are free from fear. You are free from restlessness. You are free from doubt. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. It is certain that you can heal yourself. It is certain that you can heal yourself. It is certain that you can heal yourself. You may physically heal yourself. You may mentally heal yourself. You may spiritually heal yourself. You may emotionally heal yourself. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. It is certain that you can heal yourself. It is certain that you can heal yourself. You may physically heal yourself. You may mentally heal yourself. You may spiritually heal yourself. You may emotionally heal yourself. You are helpful. You are friendly. You are a loving person for you, and you are a loving person for the world. You are a kind person for you, and you are a kind person for the world. You are peaceful. You are peaceful. You are peaceful. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You are a loving person. You are a kind person. You are a loving person. You are a kind person. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You are a loving person. You are a loving person. You are a loving person for you, and you are a loving person for the world. You are a kind person for you, and you are a kind person for the world. You are a loving person, and you are a kind person. You are a friendly one, and you are a helpful one. You are a friendly one for you, and you are a friendly one for the world. You are a helpful one for you, and you are a helpful one for the world. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. You are free from anger. You have loving kindness. You are free from hatred. You have compassion. You are free from jealousy. You have appreciative joy. You are free from fear. You are confident. You are free from restlessness. Your mind is well concentrated. You are free from doubt. You are confident. You are free from anger. You are free from hatred. You are free from jealousy. You are free from fear. You are free from disappointment. You are free from restlessness. And you are free from doubt. It is certain that you can heal yourself. Compassion is the mental factor that finds help when help is needed. You can find help when you need help. You can help others when they need help. It is certain that you can heal yourself. It is certain that you can heal yourself. You may physically heal yourself. You may mentally heal yourself. You may spiritually heal yourself. You may emotionally heal yourself. You may heal yourself. You may heal yourself. It is certain that you can heal yourself. It is certain that you can heal yourself. You may physically heal yourself. You may mentally heal yourself. You may spiritually heal yourself. You may emotionally heal yourself. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful and you are happy. You are peaceful and you are happy. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You are a loving person. You are a kind person. You are a loving person and you are a kind person. You are a loving person and you are a kind person. You have loving kindness. You are a loving person for you. You are a loving person for the world. You are a kind person for you. You are a kind person for the world. You are a kind person for the world. You are a kind person for you. You are peaceful. You are peaceful. You are peaceful. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You are a loving person. You are a kind person. You are a loving person. You are a kind person. You are a loving person for you, and you are a kind person for you. You are a loving person for the world. You are a kind person for the world. You are a loving person for you, and you are a loving person for the world. You are a kind person for you, and you are a kind person for the world. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You feel your heart and you find loving kindness. You are a loving person for you. You are a kind person for you. You are a loving person for you. You are a kind person for you. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. You are free from anger and you have loving kindness. You are free from hatred and you have compassion. You are free from jealousy and you have appreciative joy. You are free from fear. You are confident. You are free from disappointment. You are free from restlessness. You are free from doubt. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. It is certain that you can heal yourself. It is certain that you can heal yourself. You may heal yourself. You may physically heal yourself. You may mentally heal yourself. You may spiritually heal yourself. And you may emotionally heal yourself. It is certain that you may heal yourself. It is certain that you may heal yourself. You may physically heal yourself. You may mentally heal yourself. You may spiritually heal yourself. You may emotionally heal yourself. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. You feel your body. You feel your body. You feel your body. It is relaxed. Your body is relaxed. Your body is relaxed. You feel your body. It is relaxed. You feel your body. It is relaxed. Your body is relaxed. Your body is relaxed. Your body is relaxed. And you experience relaxation of your body. Your body is relaxed. And you experience relaxation of your body. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. Your mind is well concentrated. You feel your mind. It is calm. You feel your mind. It is calm. You experience calmness of your mind. You experience calmness of your mind. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. You feel your body. It is relaxed. You feel your body. It is relaxed. Your body is relaxed. Your body is relaxed. Your body is relaxed. And you experience relaxation of your body. Your mind is calm. Your mind is calm. Your mind is calm. And you experience calmness of your mind. You experience calmness of your mind. Your body is relaxed. Your mind is calm. Your mind is calm. Your body is relaxed. Your mind is calm. Your body is relaxed. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. Now my suggestion is coming to the end. When the suggestion is over, you are going to reflect on what you heard, what you experienced. When suggestion is over, you take the responsibility of find a wise reflection. Reflect, reflect on what you heard, reflect on what you experience. You feel your body, it is relaxed. You feel your body, it is relaxed. You experience relaxation of your body. You experience relaxation of your body. Your mind is calm. Your mind is calm and you experience calmness of your mind. You experience calmness of your mind. Your body is relaxed and you experience tranquility of the body. Your mind is calm and you experience serenity of your mind. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. You are peaceful. You are happy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So I'm happy to hear from you about the meditation that I tried to introduce, make you participate.
So anybody has any thoughts, questions, um, for Bhante? Bhante, maybe one of the challenges folks may have meditating is the focus and the attention, that people can have, the duration of that attention, that we lose focus in between, and how to maybe manage that. If you can reflect on that a little, that'll give some opportunity for others to think through.
It's a question for me. What is the question?
How do you become attention? Because the mind wanders.
Attention.
Focusing for a long time is difficult.
Yes.
How do you maintain focus for a long time?
Yes, that whenever we consider of the universal mental factors, there is a mental factor called contact. So we contact the world with eye, ear, nose, tongue, and with our body. That we contact sight objects through eyes, audio objects through ear, smell object through our nose, and taste through tongue, and touch through body, and we touch information through our mind. So this is called contact. When contact is established, we find sensation. Phassa, that it in Pali context is called Passa, Vedana, sensation, Sanya, cognition, Chetana, intention, Manasikara, attention, Ekagata, concentration, Jivitendriya, life faculty. Whenever you focus your mind to any object, if that attention is very strong, you may be with that object for long. So it is called life faculty. If your attention is poor, you may not be able to attend it properly. Then you are restless. When the mind is restless, we miss the object that we contacted. So the mind jump from one object to another. So we have to train ourselves to be mindful and develop concentration and try to understand the purpose of our meditation. So this can be done through a proper practice. This is my answer.
Swaminansa, one of the questions coming in is, ideally, how much time should one be meditating on a daily basis for optimal mind health?
If someone wants to do meditation, and if someone start with 5 minutes meditation, it is also great, because the 5-minute meditation is also difficult. But when we keep practice, because of the practice, we can sit for meditation long. And if you consistently attend it, you may be able to maintain concentration, mindfulness for hours and hours. We have a monk, a friend, young monk from Canada. He comes to our meditation center, Sandung Arana Monastery, and he leads 10-day meditation program based on loving kindness. I heard that his teacher is from California, and he is very old, and now he can't walk because he has been sitting for meditation 8 hours, 10 hours, and then the legs are numb, no proper blood supply for his legs, and now the legs are not properly working. But the mind of that senior monk is very well. And I heard that he is more than 85 years old, and he has trained this young monk to continue the teaching that the meditation that he teaches wherever people want to practice. So we can start from 5 minutes and we can sit for long hours and hours. Usually it is easy for me to sit for more than 4 hours. Is it a good answer?
I think it's a good guide. Yes, so start small and work your way up to whatever one is comfortable working up to. So this one you did, Swaminansa, for healing. of the mind and the body. This was roughly 20 minutes, right? Um, and it's all down to repetition of the thoughts and the healing process. The idea being that the healing process gets triggered by the repetition of listening or reciting in that process. Would that be a fair take on how meditation works in terms of this healing? So you can translate, please.
So he's asking if we continue to practice little at a time, but stick to it over and over again, and then increase.
Yes.
Is that the purpose?
Yes. So whenever we do meditation, there are another 6 mental factors called occasional mental factors. Vitakka, vichara, adhimokka, viriya, piti, chanda. Shall I let them know in Pali again?
Yes, please go ahead.
Vitakka, vichara, adhimokka, viriya, piti, chanda. In English, vitakka is initial application, the interest that you have in the beginning. Vichara, sustained application. You attentively continue the object that you take for meditation again and again and again and again. Repetition with full of attention. And then there is adhimokka, it is called determination. If you determine to sit for 2 hours, it is possible that you can easily comfort your sitting position for 2 hours. That is the nature of that mental factor called adhimokka, determination. And virya, effort. Whenever effort is well established, you find rapture, happiness. And the desire of doing meditation or this desire of completing your whatever you do easy and possible because of this desire of doing it. So they are called occasional mental factors. If the attention is poor, you may not find them. If we take an example, on Monday, you go to work, but there's no desire of going to work. And you're not happy to work. On Friday, you are happy to go to work, desire of going to work because Saturday is holiday. So in that way, these mental factors can be found or cannot be found. So because of that, they are called occasional mental factors. So when the attention is well established, they surely establish, and we may get support from these mental factors to continue our meditation and succeed whatever we do with mindfulness.
So I mean, answer one more questions that you mentioned, a 10-day meditation program. Is that like Vipassana meditation, which is a 10-day meditation program? Do you know of Vipassana? Vipassana?
Vipassana. So the Venerable Anand from Canada, he is happy to practice concentrated meditation and Vipassana meditation based on loving kindness. At the beginning, it is concentrated meditation. And after a while, it is taught how to attain Vipassana, contemplation.
Is that a 10-day program?
That he has come to our monastery and he has led 10 days meditation. I think these days he is in India, and he may let me know when that he's going to do the next program. I will find information about his meditation sessions and share with Affan.
Thank you. So, Swaminathan, one of the other things you do, especially with the younger children, is that may I be happy, healthy, and peaceful, which is a shorter meditation. Maybe you can share that with the group.
May I be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May I be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May I be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May my teachers be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May mother and father be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May brothers and sisters be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all relatives be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all neighbors be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all friends be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all living beings in this universe be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May I be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all teachers be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May mother and father be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May brothers and sisters be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all relatives be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all neighbors be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all friends be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all living beings in this universe be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May I be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all teachers be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May mother and father be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May brothers and sisters be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all relatives be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all neighbors be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all neighbors be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all friends be happy, healthy, peaceful and content. May all living beings be happy, healthy, peaceful and content.
So Swaminathan, one of the questions is about
Yes.
sound or soft sounds helping concentration. And I think, and this is my thought, and Sue, you may have to help translate here, is that I think in the Western Hemisphere, a lot of the focus of meditation goes with tying some kind of music to it, that people put music at the background, close their eyes, have a serene environment, and try to focus. And my understanding, knowing you all these years, is that in the strict sense of meditation, as far as Buddhism goes, um, meditation is getting yourself to listen to where you want to be, or the words that need to be related to your mind, because the mind, having to repetitively listen to those recitations, starts thinking. So it's more of training of the mind by telling yourself how you are training or how you would like to train, rather than having a session where there's music at the background and a person is trying to focus on a specific thing. When it comes to focus in Buddhism, it's more the focus on listening to your heart and reciting with that rhythm, or focusing on the breathing, like the tip of your nose, where you're breathing in and out from, and trying to identify that calmness that the breathing motion brings. Um, do you have any thoughts on that part, where a lot of the focus is on sound and music and the background noise, and how much that makes a difference? And so I think this is a tall order for you to translate, but
So the question is, what are your thoughts about meditating
Background
using
music.
music, for example, versus focusing on your breath or focusing by chanting something?
Yes.
Do they all work alike?
So according to the Buddhist practice, that we are trying to be free from the clinging to the object which is desired, and avoid clashing with the object which is not desired, or we try to go beyond like and dislike. So when the object is pleasant, we cling to it and we find suffering related with the clinging. And when we find objects that we do not like, we clash with it and we find suffering relating with this anger or clash in state of the mind. So there, our mere intention is to be neutral and find freedom of clinging and clashing. Because of that intention, we do not use any music or pleasant objects. We want to be neutral objects. So mindfulness of breathing in and breathing out, it is not pleasant, it is not unpleasant. So there, it is easy to find freedom of clinging and clashing. So our mere intention is to be free from attachment and the what is called that clashing because of that dislike state of the mind. So the mindfulness of breathing is not pleasant, is not unpleasant. So it is easy to get rid of clashing and clinging. And also, whenever the loving kindness is well established, it is a detached condition. You are helping others with a detached mind, not clinging to them, not attached to them. So therefore, usually we do not use that background music or some other things. In concentrated meditation, that if you want to have a joyful thoughts and joyful concentration, there that the music and others are helpful for that. So they are called laukika dhyana, worldly attainment. So here, that enlightenment is what we experience beyond the world, lokottara. So if we attach to these objects, we may not be able to develop the mind and find freedom of attachment and clashing. So therefore, we do not use any desired or pleasant objects in our meditation. This is the answer that I have to find.
So one of the thoughts Swaminathan is that when one is meditating by themselves, should one be reciting the words loudly or within oneself in the mind? Is one better than the other, or it's more like what it works for the person? Before you answer that, so one of the things that I do for the 60 folks is when Bhante was reciting, I normally put my voice recorder on the phone and record that chanting. And then there are noises and stuff that happens, and I edit that and I use that for my meditation. So one of the potential things when Sia shares this recording with the community, you could use your voice recorder and record just that section where we were meditating, the two different recitations, and potentially use that to navigate through and when you have the opportunity to meditate. That's one idea, that's what I have been doing over the years. But Swaminathan, do you have any direction there? Is being quietly meditating in your mind versus loudly meditating to yourself, reciting to yourself, is better, or the other?
So meditation is called transcendental meditation. that can be established through some chanting. Now, we can chant Mano Pubbangama Dhamma Mano Sitta Mano Maya Manasache Pasannena Bhasativa Karotiva Tato Nang Sukamang Veti Chayava Anapayini Mano Pubbangama Dhamma Mano Sitta Mano Maya Manasache Pasannena Bhasativa Karotiva Tato Nang Sukamang Veti Chayava Anapayini Mano Pubbangama Dhamma Mano Setta Mano Maya Manasache Pasannena Bhasativa Karotiva Tato Nyang Sukamang Veti Chayava Anapayini Mano Pubbangama Dhamma Mano Setta Mano Maya Manasache Pasannena Bhasativa Karotiva Tato Nang Sukamang Veti Chayava Anapayini Mano Pubbangama Dhamma Mano Setta Mano Maya Manasache Pasannena Bhasativa Karotiva Tato Nang Sukamang Veti Chayava Anapayini Mano Pubbangama Dhamma Mano Setta Mano Maya Manasache Pasannena Bhasativa Karotiva Tato Nang Sukamang Veti Chayava Anapayini. That we have taken an object for reciting, and we do it again and again and again, sometimes 63 times, sometimes 108 times. Then we can establish the first jhana called Vitakka Vichara Piti Sukha Ekaggata. It is called first jhana, first absorption level. So there we can use a chanting, a word that we can recite. And whenever you come to the second jhana, you do not chant, or you do not that you it's naturally stop that chanting, because the first jhana based on the object that you have in your mind. And when that concentration is developed with the help of this object, then your mind is focused not to the object that you taken, that you naturally your mind focused to the samadhi concentration that you develop through that object. Therefore, the first jhana that you can attain to first jhana through reciting, but the second jhana, third jhana, and fourth jhana, you should have concentration, and then the chanting is stopped. So the chanting that I took for this chanting, the verse that I took for this chanting is Mano Pubbangama Dhamma Mano Setta Manomaya Manasache Pasannena Bhasativa Karotiva Tatonan sukamang veti chayava anapayani. Mind precedes all mental status. Mind is their chief. They are all mind-made. If with a pure mind a person speaks or acts, happiness follows him like a shadow that never leaves. This is the meaning of that chanting. So, in the beginning, you would be able to use chanting, reciting words for your meditation to develop your concentration. When you train your mind to develop concentration, then you do not need any chanting or reciting or any words. You can have an object in your mind. This is the answer that I can find for that question. Yeah.
Swaminansa, unrelated to the meditation, there's a thought question around rebirth in Buddhism. That is it thought that one goes through the rebirth cycle until the stage of nirvana is achieved?
Affan, is your question, what exactly is your question there?
That rebirth is mandatory over and over until that stage of purity is reached, being nirvana, that there's no stopping that cycle. Is that a firm belief within Buddhism?
In Buddhism, Swamin Wahansa, do we believe that rebirth is a cycle until you attain Nibbana? Is that a strict belief?
According to the Paticca Samuppada, dependent origination, that we, whenever the avidya takes place, not knowing or the delusion, we attend activities and generate sankhara. Sankhara means conditions, volitional condition. Because of that, the consciousness is formed. Because of the consciousness, the nama rupa, matter and formation is formed. And because of this nama rupa, 6 sense faculties are formed. Chakku, sota, gana, jiva, kaya, mana. The 5 sense faculties are formed. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Because of these 6 faculties, the contact is forms. Because of the contact, sensation is formed. Because of the sensation, craving is formed. Because of the craving, attachment is formed. Because of this attachment, bhavaya, becoming is formed. Because of this becoming, the birth is formed. When the birth is formed, or when you were born, you experience aging, getting sick, death, sadness, lamentation, physically illness, mentally illness, and suffering of the whole life. And it is the nature of attachment towards this panchakanda, rupa, vedana, sanya, sankara, vinyana. So this is the reality, birth and death. Whenever a person is dead, his performed becoming factors find another life. It is not a new life. It is not a old life. It is according to the forms that you have to bear in future. Whatever you do here, bear fruit in future, in next moment. So this is called samsara, life by life journey. The Nibbana is when you come to the, when you properly understand the danger of this attachment, you want to get rid of attachment. When attachment is stopped, then there is no formation for becoming. Then your life by life journey stop. This is the basic teaching of the Buddhist practice. So it is very clear, whenever you pay attention for the phenomena of paticca samuppada, dependent origination or something like that. So it is not easy to explain in few words, that we have to have enough time to study of it.
Anybody else? Any thoughts, questions? Okay, so yeah, looks like nobody has. So I'm going to start walking since some of the folks wanted to meet the translator. So translator, here I come, okay?
Okay. Do you want me to come over?
No. Nothing, they just want to say hi, I guess.
Hi, everyone.
So that's Sue, my wife, and she's been the translator of all things. I do not know the language, so she's off and she volunteered to help us out. Sia, over to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Sue. Thank you very much. And I don't know how to say his name. I'm sorry, and I don't want to mess it up. But very
Bhante, yes,
grateful.
he's getting you.
Bhante, thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
what you've done for us today and shared with us. Thank you, Sue, for helping, and thank you, Affan, for setting this up and bringing this wonderful experience to our community. So with that, we shall bring this meeting to a close with goodwill
Sia,
and peace.
before you
Yeah.
go away, and everyone else, if you guys have follow-up thoughts, questions, send it over. Sue will be happy to translate, and I will be happy to get it back to anybody.
Great. Everyone, you can just hang on. Just going to stop the recording.